Okay, so what do we say? That there's 3 levels of revealing the Jewish soul. One was done by Moshe. One was done by Mordechai in the time of the terrible decree that Haman made. And one was done by Mordechai after the decree. After the Jews already won. The first is Moshe Rabbeinu revealed this level of the Jewish soul, which is called Mazleu Chazi. He revealed this level of the Jewish soul that's called the soul sees godliness. But that's not the highest level of God. Because if it's a level of godliness that you can see, of course it's just figuratively speaking, that the soul can somehow or other sense, so it must be something that's somewhat, in some way separate from the soul. The soul feels itself to be a separate entity. And how does that result in human personality and human conduct? That we can have a person believe in God with all of his heart and still do sins. Like the Gemara says that a Jewish thief, before he goes to steal, prays to God for success. This comes from the level we saw. Moshe Rabbeinu, he inspired the Jews to believe in God. They all said, Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do whatever you say, God, and then we'll try to understand it afterwards. But when it came to the hard times, they worshipped the golden calf. Then there's a second level of revealing the Jewish soul, and that's called Mesirut Nefesh. That's called self-sacrifice. That was like the Jews after the miracle of Purim. The Jews before the miracle of Purim. The Jews in the time of the decree of Haman, they stood with self-sacrifice for 1 full year. Not one Jew even thought of saying, I'm not a Jew. Even though that would mean he would be free from the decree. Because the decree was only to kill and destroy all the Jews. But no Jew even thought to separate themselves from God in any way. And so that is revealing an even higher level of the Jewish soul, which is called Tetzaveh. Mesirut Nefesh. Mesirut Nefesh. Right, the job of Moses in every generation is Tetzaveh, is to connect the Jews. But there's 3 levels of connection. There's connection like Moses did. There's the connection like Mordechai did in the time of Haman. But then the highest level is what Mordechai accomplished after the decree of Haman. And that's when it says, that's when the Jews really accepted the Torah that had been given 1,000 years earlier. It's even higher. That's when the Jews were living easy. There was no problems. How did the Jews reveal the essence of the soul then? When it's good times, the Jews reveal the essence of the soul. We see exactly the opposite. And when it's hard times, when there's oppression, then the Jews reveal their Judaism. They stand up and they say Shema Yisrael. When it's easy, Jews, Hashem, God forbid, they even convert.
Really?
Jews never used to convert. Never. Nowadays in America, there's so much ignorance. There's so much, enticing advertising that the Jews that actually go convert. They actually become Moody's and right. How can it possibly happen? When it's good times, that's when the Jews reveal the essence of their soul. How?
You realize what they're missing.
Because they feel that the only way to really reveal the truth is by crushing myself. And what crushes me? That they realize that we're in exile, we're in Gullus. You with me? You're listening? Dog. So there's 3 ways. One way is that Moshe Rabbeinu crushes the Jews. Get them out of Egypt, gave them the Torah, did all these wonderful things, but that only reveals the lower level of faith. Then, in the time when Haman makes these terrible decrees, wants to destroy them, as Mordechai reveals even a higher level of faith, called Mesirut Nefesh. But the highest level is when the Jews crush themselves because they're found in exile. The fact that a Jew realizes that he's found in exile, and that it all depends on him to fix it up, makes him feel crushed. I have to do more. Pushes himself.
Crushes himself.
Right. Let's go.
I have a question.
Yes.
We know there's a lot of material people use to make idols back in the days, and the Torah doesn't allow it to be involved in building a Mishkan and holy things, right? So how come everything's made out of gold, even though they made the golden calf? Gold was used for idolatry.
I don't understand the question.
Yeah,
just because the non-Jews use gold doesn't mean all gold is gold.
We did. The calf.
the golden calf. It was Jews who built the golden calf.
Right,
So white
and
gold was used as
they
gold.
use it says from the ornaments that they had on themselves, the
Right,
rings.
but still gold. Gold was used for idolatry. So how come is it allowed to be used in the Beit HaMikdash and the vessels?
No, listen, just because a non-Jew uses the material of gold, what's the
But it's saying
chemical thing of gold, I don't know, AU or something?
Oh, it's the-
Anyway, whatever it's gold, they use gold, doesn't mean all the gold in the world is forbidden. You understand?
I understand that, but is it only non-Jews that built the golden calf?
No, but it's the same concept of like linen.
1 minute, I'm trying to understand what he's saying, I'm trying.
No, but it's the same concept of linen. We can't wear linen because the people in those days used the idolaters.
Who said you can't wear linen?
Linen and
The shadness.
cotton, yeah, the shadness. Yeah,
That's a commandment, it's the same thing of not eating milk and meat together.
but he's
It's
saying
not-
why wouldn't it be the same with gold, since the gold was made for idolatry as well? And we knew the Jews did it.
Where do you learn that?
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Where do you hear that? Where do you learn that you're not supposed to use gold, whatever?
He's saying why not?
1 minute, please let me answer the question. Let me try to answer this question.
Basically, the question doesn't make sense.
There is nothing wrong with wearing linen. There's nothing wrong with wearing wool. There's nothing wrong with using gold. There's nothing wrong with planting trees. Even though the Goyim used all these things for idolatry. There's
Well,
a,
then we can.
what?
There's nothing. There's nothing.
There's nothing, you're not allowed to mix milk and meat. Not because the Goyim worshipped milk and meat. It's a law from the Torah, it's what's called a chok. It doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm talking about
We can make a little sense out of it, but it's not.
Yeah, but linen together, the shatnez and wool, we can't wear it together, but it has nothing to do with the goyim. That was just the
Right, and
the law was given before.
neither does using gold.
No, gold.
If there is a statue that the Goyim actually used, and they did not break that statue, then you can't use it.
that.
But even if you can't use that particular statue, it doesn't make any difference what it's made of. You're not allowed to use that statue. If it's made of pure diamonds, you're not allowed to use it if the Goyim bow down to it and they never broke it. But if they used it and they broke it, then you can use it.
Then you mean
In the statue itself, they have a statue that's made of
material
gold, right? And they broke off an ear, they broke off or whatever it is, then it's permissible that they discarded it, then you're allowed to use it.
Mordechai, where do you learn that you're not supposed to use something that?
No, my question is, when Beit HaMikdash, when there were times that he says you cannot bring this material in because it was used for idolatry.
There are certain examples, there are certain things that are, what's an example? The Kohen Gadol is not supposed to go into the Holy of Holies with golden garments because they were used for idolatry. But there was a lot of things that were made of gold. Right? It's permissible. It even says it's a mitzvah if they have money, they can cover the whole base of Mikdash with gold if they want it.
But we used gold to build the calf, the golden calf.
Yes.
So how come God didn't just not permit gold to be used?
That's what I'm saying. Because a thing is used, if a non-Jew worships your house.
But there were
you can't go-
Jews that made the golden calf.
Same thing. A Jew worships your house. They use it. They all gather around from all the world. They worship your house. It makes your house forbidden. Doesn't make your house forbidden, right? If they built it and they worship the house, there don't be problems. But if they just worship your house, they worship your car. You can't use your car.
I understand that concept, but I mean, if God says doesn't use this item in building the Beit HaMikdash because it was
Once
made
in a
for
while,
idolatry.
no, but he didn't universally say. There were things that were made from gold. The inner altar was made from gold.
That's what I
See,
mean.
so-
I go,
Right. Hashem knows what he's doing. Just because the Jews made an altar from gold does not forbid the gold. It forbids that altar. That altar will be forbidden forever. Right? If they worship the altar itself. There's laws of Avodah Zarah. There's laws of Avodah Zarah. There were Chabadniks that they moved into churches. That they made their Chabad house into a church. That's what I heard. I mean, if the thing still represents idolatry, you couldn't use it. If there was a golden calf and they broke off the ear and they stopped it, you couldn't bring that golden calf into your house because it still represents idolatry. It represents idolatry, but you could melt it and use the gold. You know, you're not supposed to have non-Jewish statues in your house in general. They'd have a big cross or something in your house. That's okay. They broke off his nose. Okay, let's go. Good, rabbis, let's go. Hagilui. Nowadays, with the idolatry you have to be careful for is not, it's called avodah zorah. Avodah zorah means strange service. Anything that is strange to a Jew. Jewish people living for money, living for power, living for success, living for this. If that becomes a main, that's called spiritually idolatry. It's not physically idolatry. It's not the laws of idolatry that you can't, bring that money into your house just because you happen to be a money maniac, or a car maniac, or whatever it is, a clothes maniac, or something like that. Doesn't mean you can't bring them, but still, it's called idolatry. In other words, it's called avodah zorah, it's strange service for a Jew. Let's go. Oh, very good. Huh? Yes, sir. Moshe Tzvi, don't go back to sleep. Don't go back to sleep. Where are you? Oh, you're going back to sleep. Okay, good, wonderful, thank you. No, you're in the toilet, you're in the bathroom, I understand. You're not in the bathroom, you can't talk. Something's wrong with, you're speaking. I'm coming to help you, Moshe. Don't worry. Okay, goodbye, see you soon. He's probably in the bathroom. Let's go. Okay, Kochas of Giluim. What happened is... Okay, key. Let's take up the first word line is Hamasiras Nefesh. You have a paper?
It's at home. It's okay. I'm
Yeah,
gonna listen to this now.
I have one.
The first word in the line is?
What?
What's the first word in the line?
What do you have?
The first word in the line.
First word line is Hamasiras Nefesh.
Ah, Hamasiras Nefesh.
Okay? In
the
So we see that there were Jews that were in Russia and they served God with tremendous self-sacrifice, but when they got to a place where it was easy to do Torah, let's go to the line from before that. Ein. See, last word in the line is kolka. Ein, there is not. Nikar, recognizable. Bohem, in them. So much. Hamasiras Nefesh, the self-sacrifice. We want to start it came out that in the videos that nose blowing has a tremendous audio effect, negative audio effect on the videos. There's people who watch the videos in America and they heard the shaking, the shaking of the thunders of the blowing of the nose, and there was one person that actually had to be taken to the hospital because he had a key problem. A really key problem. So I'm just joking, but the blowing of the nose wrecks the audio effect.
This is not per minute.
Of this. So it sounds scary, or it sounds like it's another intestinal sound, which is not nice. Right? So here's the rabbis talking, and then all of a sudden, right? So people won't want to come to our yeshiva, or the type of it will attract the people to our yeshiva we don't want. Get it? Understand what I mean? So therefore, we have to try not to blow our noses in class. An appeal. I'm going to get the Shlomo Farber to write a little sign. If you want to see signs, put them all over.
Recording no blow nose.
So what are we supposed to do? Get out for a second and blow our nose?
Yeah, blow your nose before you come in. Blow your nose very quietly. Blow your nose in. We can have a special covering, special glass cage. Put your head in. Okay.
You're the boss.
Oh, because when they came afterwards. Oh, I'm sorry. Ein nikra, it's not recognized. Bohem and them. Kol kach, so much. Hamasiras Nefesh, the self-sacrifice. Shahaya, that there was. I'm calling Daniel Shimon. Bohem, to them. Mikodem, before. Ki. Because. This. We're talking about these Hasidim or these Jews that when they were in the Holocaust or when they were in Russia, they were serving God day and night with self-sacrifice. But as soon as they got out and they came to America or to Israel or to France or to England, so all of a sudden you don't see so much this devotion, this burn, zealousness. Why? Ki, because see here, sha'amdu, that they stood.
They stood.
The Mesiras Nefesh and self-sacrifice. Meshech in the course. Kama, many, shanim years. Who is Lefi, because Sheheir, they're shined. By him and them.
They're shined?
They're shined in them. Why did they have this tremendous self-sacrifice in Russia and in Germany or Poland, wherever they were? Why? Because they're shined by him and them. Gil, or revealed. Atzam and Neshama, the essence of their soul. Shelamayla, which was above. Mikochos, from the powers. Hagiluim, that are revealed. In other words, their personality. The essence of their soul shined, and the essence of the soul, so to speak, knocked out their personality. All of a sudden, he's not a banker anymore, and he's not a good speaker anymore, and he's not a rich person anymore. He's just giving his life for God. Just willing to sacrifice everything. V'lo naseh, and therefore it did not make. V'lo naseh, and it was not made. V'lo, and not. Naseh, made. Al yedei, by means of this. Shinui, a change. Bekochod, and the powers. Hagiluyim, that were revealed. In other words, the Kochos HaGiluyim, personality. Kochos HaGiluyim means his personality, his revealed soul, Atzmam, themselves. There was not made a change in his revealed powers. In other words, as soon as he got out of Russia, or as soon as he got out, then he became a banker, he became a businessman, he became successful, which is okay, that's good. But what? He didn't have so much time for learning, and he didn't have so much time for praying, and he wasn't so devoted to helping other Jews, and certainly not to risk his soul, right? And he's not going to do anything that's out of the ordinary. Right? All of a sudden he calmed down. So this is the Rabbi, that's okay, that's very nice. But where's the burn? Where's the soul? Where's the soul? There's no soul. There's action, there's deed, there's thought, there's speech. It's wonderful, very nice. But where is his soul? He's not doing anything, how do you say, godly. He's just acting like a normal person would act that believes in the Bible. Right? Which is okay, that's very good. That's very nice. But the Rebbe says, but one second, we're living in Gullus here. We're in exile. It depends on you to get us out. You're supposed to, you see, there's not Jews that don't know Torah and mitzvahs. Go and knock on the guy's door. You're in business, you see a person that doesn't know Torah and mitzvahs, put the tefillin on. Right? Ask him if he wants to go to, ask him if he wants to come over to your house for Shabbos. Make a class for learning Torah. Make another, go out of yourself a little bit. Do something like what you did in Russia. Good, in Russia you had to stand up against Stalin. Now in New York, nobody's going to shoot you. No one's going to say, hey, don't wear that hat. Right? Don't put on tzitzis. You can do whatever you want to. Right? The question is, what do you want to do? That's what you want. Right? Where is your soul? Making money, having a nice house, making sure that you're the president of the shul. Right? These are nice things. But what about going outside of yourself a little bit? What about squeezing yourself? What about ending the gullus? Ending the exile? Do something unusual. Right? Be a soldier. Now is the hardest time. With that, you were in Russia, in Poland, and that was just training. That was the training. Now when you get out, now you have to fight the real enemy. Who's the real enemy? Yourself. That's the real enemy. Before, you were fighting against Stalin, you were fighting against Hitler, you were fighting against this, right? You were fighting against the church, you were fighting against the good, very nice. Now who are you fighting against? Now you got to fight against the exile. Where's the exile? In me. Not so easy. Right? You have to really. Now you have to crush yourself. Says the good thing about crushing yourself though is that it doesn't let up. It doesn't let up. Once you realize, hey, we're in Gullus, I got to do something. Then it doesn't let up. Once Stalin dies, that's it. It's easy. Hitler dies. Good, wonderful. The church, all of a sudden they all break the crosses or whatever, and they say, listen, we made a mistake. So okay, we're free. That's it. But what about you yourself? What's going to bring your essence out? That's who you are. You're supposed to bring out your essence. What's going to do it? It says, I long for those old days when I was in the concentration camp. Then I was, it's true it was terrible, but I really feel. Rabbi VeAtah said that he sat 7 years in Siberia. He said those were the best years of his life. He said that every single second he had to think about something that would keep him happy, that would keep him motivated. Because if not, he would die of hunger or from disease or from cold. He says now a person has to crush himself. Why? Because of the gullus. Tetzaveh, that this. She'etzem, that the essence. Haneshama of the soul. He is. Ha'etzem, the essence. With me? Essence. Gam, also. To kochos ha'giluim. Of his personality. Kaniskar, like we said before in Sifhei. Right? What's the essence of your soul? It's not two things. It's not me, the normal person, right? Bolton, the teacher, the nice guy, the person who plays music, who has children, who has this. And there's also, I have a power of Mesiras Nefesh. That I can put all this on the side and say, forget about who I am, forget about, I am devoting myself to ending this gullus. I'm going to be a soldier of the Rabbi. I'm going to get rid of this. There's two people. Two people. Says the Rabbi, the fact is it's not like that. The essence of your soul, that's the essence of your personality. It should permeate your whole entire personality, everything that you do. But who, and it is, she'etzem, this is what? These people who are in Russia, or that were in the concentration camps or whatever, and they had Mesiras Nefesh, they were self-sacrificed. Why is it that when they get out, things ease up? Because she'etzem haneshama, the essence of the soul, who is ha'etzem, the essence shelahem of their. This is my essence. Ve'ein zeh, but it is not shayech, connected, le'inyanim, to matters, shel of kochot ha'giluim, the revealed powers, personality. Kochos ha'giluim is the personality, atzmam itself. It's like two people. Sometimes I am Mesiras Nefesh, and sometimes I'm normal. It says it shouldn't be that way. Your essence is the essence to your normal powers also. L'tziur shalem, to your form. Right, so you could say, right, so what's the Rebbe trying to say? The Rebbe is trying to say that every single instant of your life should be when you go and work in your auto mechanic job, and when you're a father, and when you're with your children, and when you're with your wife, and when you're with your friends, and when you're in your business, right? And when things happen that you don't like, and when there's people who try to cheat you, all the time it should be that you're thinking about how can I do my best in this situation to end the gullus. Right? If you get mad at people, that's going to end the gullus. It's going to make a good impression on people to end the gullus. If so, then do it. If not, don't do it. But it should be that all of your mind is thinking about how am I going to end this gullus. Of course, you have to do it in a normal way. You can't say, well, I'm just going to tattoo a picture of the Mashiach flag on my chest, and I'm going to go on the streets and scream. It's a wonderful thing. You're doing it with tremendous self-sacrifice. Right? But you can't. It doesn't end like that. Right? It doesn't end like that. Just by being crazy according to your own terms. You have to be crazy according to the Rebbe's terms. But it has to be every single second. In other words, when you're a doctor, you're the best doctor. When you make a mistake, you admit it immediately. You never cheat, you never lie, you never do it. You're always trying to help people to do the right thing, right? To be helpful. Not so that I'll go to heaven or to end the gullus, to end the exile. And in order to do that, if you see a person that doesn't put on tefillin, you're willing, ask him if he wants to put on tefillin. A person doesn't learn Torah, you ask him, would you like to come to learn Torah? Right? A person that needs a mezuzah on his door, you ask him, would you like a mezuzah? You bring him a mezuzah. You do whatever you can in order to make the world a more godly place. Even if it means you have to go out of your normal personality, because it means that becomes your normal personality. I know by me, you can see a lot of times, people come to my house a lot of times. Like when I go and I put tefillin on people on Fridays, so, then I'm already into it. I can ask them. But sometimes people come over to my house, and sometimes they'll be like important people, my wife knows all these people. They come over, and I always have this thought, maybe this guy won't put on tefillin, maybe I won't ask him, because it's, it's not etiquette, it's not proper. A person comes over to your house and asks you. It's like two people. There's the one that wants to put on tefillin, and there's the normal me that wants to make a... Sometimes I say, I'll ask him near the end. Okay, you don't have to immediately fall on the guy and say, put on. Put on tefillin. You're in my house now, you must do what I want, do what the Lord says, come pray with... You don't have to be nice about it, but you learn by experience. Also, make a few mistakes, it's not so bad. But the point is that, are you going to ask him or are you not going to? The Rabbi wants you to ask a person to put on tefillin. And a lot of times I know that I ask people to put on tefillin that I never would think would put on tefillin, and it's against my whole grain to even ask them. Right? An honorable person comes over to your house and has a little earring or something like that. That's why we'd like to put on. Yes, well, sure, we would like to. That's really.
But when you ask people, do you have the tefillin in your hand?
Yeah, sure, you should have the tefillin ready. You bring out the tefillin, you open it up, you say, listen, if you had a minute to put on tefillin, come, let's put on tefillin. Did you put on tefillin today? If he says, no, I don't want to, say, okay, good. I just wanted you to feel good. Something like you say, this is one of the services of, when I'm on the plane, I put tefillin on people, I said, this is one of the services of LL.
You can't say it. Legally, you can't say it, can you?
Or you say, ask the people, sure, like, are you, right?
I don't know.
Very often, same thing with learning Torah. Learning Torah is a little bit harder because the person has to get into it. He has to sit. That's what the Rebbe said. Putting on tefillin is the. Let's go.
We're on which page?
On Reish Pei Vav. Okay, let's go. Magilui. So that's why there can be people that when they are in Russia or these other places, they have tremendous Mesiras Nefesh, but afterwards they stop it. Why? Because by them there's a division, two things. There's the essence of the soul, and then there's the personality. It doesn't mix. Magilui. But the revelation, this is how it should be. The revelation, the etzem and neshama of the essence of the soul. Bezeh, from this, from the fact. Shehu, that he is. Nishbar v'nidke, broken and crushed. Mizeh, from the fact. Shehu, Shehu, that he is. Let me see that. Nagilu. Okay, now we're finished with the type of person that has self-sacrifice in Russia, and when he comes out, he loses it. How should it be? Because over there in Russia, it was Stalin that was crushing it. It was somebody from the outside. But we said the third level of revelation of the soul, when you crush yourself. After, like it was after the miracle of Purim. When it says the Yehudim kiblu at the Torah, that's when they really accepted the Torah. It's after the miracle of Purim. Same thing now. Nagila, the revelation. The etzem and Hashem of the essence of the soul. Bezeh, from the fact. Shehu, that he is. Nishbar v'nidke, broken and crushed. Mizeh, from the fact.
V'nidka is
crushed.
Crushed, but the word is not the same word as crushed.
Cast down.
Pressured.
Huh?
Nidka.
Nidka, cast down.
It means something a little...
A meducha is something where you're crushed. It's crushing.
But it's a different word for crush.
Different word, that's right.
I mean,
Then katit.
yeah.
Katit is usually crushed up fine. Katit. Nitke mizeh, from this. But if the crushing comes from Stalin, then it's not complete. You don't bring out the true essence of your soul. You bring out the essence, but not how it affects your personality. But if the crushing comes because you are crushed mizeh, from the fact, shehu, that you, he's talking to the third person, nimsa, is found, but Galus in exile. If the reason you're crushed is not because of Stalin, and not because of Moses, of Moshe, but the reason that you're crushed is because you are found in Galus, you realize I have to get out of here, I have to change the world, then that's the highest type. And Shegam, that also, Kochot, powers, Hagiluim, revealed. In other words, your personality. Kochos Hagiluim means your, what? What's Kochos Hagiluim? Powers means what? Your personality. Even your personality, the way you act, the way you think, the way you talk, what you want, what you love, what you hate. That's your personality.
Which is not a part of the essence itself.
Shalom, huh?
Which is not a part of the essence itself. It's like a...
Oh, so that's what the Rabbi wants to say.
Yeah.
It's not two things. It's not that there's the essence and there's your personality. If the reason that you reveal your essence is because of some external thing like Haman, or even Lahavdil because of Moshe, right? Like the Jews went out of Egypt. So then it's like two different things. There's the essence of your personality and your personality. But if the essence of your nefesh is revealed by the fact that you're in exile and you want to get out and you want to change the world, then that affects even your personality.
What shows?
Haim, they are, then your personality, your kochas of Giluim, hatziur, the form, the picture, the kochas of Giluim, the revelation, let's say. Tziur, the form, the revelation, the revealed form, the kochos of Giluim, of your revealed powers. In other words, your personality. How your personality comes out. You understand what we're talking about?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, they are kamo, like chad, one, ima etzem, with the essence. Then it's not two things anymore. Then even a person, I'll give you another, this person, Rabbi Mendel Futafes, again, it's an example. When he was in Siberia, he did amazing things, and when he was in Russia, in communist Russia, amazing things how he helped people. But when he got out, he wasn't any less. When he got out of Russia, he was the same Mesiras Nefesh, self-sacrificing person as he was before. The problem was, it wasn't so, and he say, in a revealed way. Right? It couldn't work in a revealed way. It wasn't that he was saying, they were saying, do this and we'll kill you. You can kill me. Oh, that's a brave thing. You can make a movie out of that. Right? How a person stood there and they were going to kill him, and how he kept Shabbos even though they told him not to keep Shabbos. You can see the tension, the music is in the background. Right? Are they going to get him or are they not going to get him? Right? They come into his room and it makes it look like he's reading a paper or something like that, but really he's running a Torah book. Exciting. But when you come to Kfar Chabad, right? What's exciting and what's not exciting? Then the battle is inside. Right? Battle is inside. Am I going to say a little bit less Devorim B'Teilim? Am I going to learn a little more Torah? Am I going to wake up a little earlier? Right? Am I going to pray with a little more devotion? Right? Am I going to help another Jew? Am I going to go and put tefillin on another Jew? Am I going to talk nice to another Jew? Am I going to try to bring another Jew to learn Torah with me? Right? To help another person, to befriend another person. I'll tell you a story about Rabbi Mendel Futafes. It's a very interesting story. I went with him once. We were in America. It was by the Rabbi. And they arranged that we would go to an old folks home. I think it was in Sukkot or Pesach or something like that. Anyway, we went to this old folks home, and I had a guitar and I played. And there were a few other Hasidim, they danced, and some other guys sang, and Rabbi Mendel Futafes was there with us. He wanted to come over with us. And it was not easy for him to walk and everything like that, but there was an old guy that we met, and this old guy, a non-religious guy, the place was for non-religious, it was Jewish, but it was totally non-religious, there was nothing religious. An old guy. He said to Rabbi Mendel, he was saying like this. Rabbi Mendel went over and said, no, was macht ihr, how are you feeling? He started talking, the guy didn't want to talk, but then you want to talk. Rabbi Mendel said, how old are you? He said, I'm 87 years old. Rabbi Mendel said, what do you say? 87 years old. That is really something. 87 years old. You don't look 87. 87 years old. Every time Rabbi Mendel said it to him, he sat up a little straighter. I sat up just like this in the beginning. 87 years old. I don't believe it. You don't look 87? Well, young man, 87 years old. And what did it say? What did he say? He said it in Yiddish. You know, it came out of it. Was sagt er? 87 Jahre. He said, finally the guy in the end, all he did was say, you know, finally the other guy stood up and he was saying, he was singing a song. He was singing a song. Right? And as you felt the essence, the person just wanted another person to feel good. Anything you could do to brighten the world up a little bit, to make the world a little better place, right? To make it in a real way. Right? Do what you can. You know, some people aren't there. Some people can do a favor. They can give charity. Just to make the world a little bit better place. But that you can see that was his soul. That was what he was really into. He says, if you're crushed by the gullahs, then all you do is you want to make the world a better place. If you do it, then everything comes out genuine. When you do it genuinely, people see you're not thinking about yourself. Says the Rabbi, Him kamo, then they are kamo, like chad, one, in with the essence. So this is the goal of Moshe Rabbeinu, to get the Jews in our generation, when there is nothing crushing them, but there is a terrible gullus. You have to decide yourself. You have to use your power of decision, your free will, to choose to crush yourself, to pay attention to the gullus, to try to stop it, or you can build a big wall around yourself and say, forget it, what do I care? I got money, I can learn Torah, I'm okay. You have your choice. Last page.
It's finished.
What?
Is this the last page?
Yes, we have a... Oh, pass it over. We have,
He needs two.
One second, I gave it the wrong page.
Alright,
Oh, no. Don't tell me that I made a mistake. Another mistake. One second. Don't confuse me. Don't confuse poor Rabbi Bolton here. I'm trying to...
I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, I made the wrong page. One second, maybe this is it. Yeah. Here it is, don't go away. Yeah, it's not the last page, it's the second. Oh, boy, I Moses. Okay. Here it is, I'm sorry. Mistake. Here we go. Here.
So we've got this page.
Yeah.
I gave him one over.
All right, ready? Yeah, one. Yes. Go on. Tetzaveh, this. Tetzaveh, the essence. Haneshama of the soul. VeAtah, and the revelation. The hakochos of his powers.
Tzior is a revelation.
Revelation. And lose your personality. Hey, they are. Dugmat. Like. Shnei and Yanim, two things.
Similar to, right?
Right? Dugma means they're similar to like. The reason that the essence of your soul and your personality can be two things. Who is? Lefi, because. Shegam, that also. Atzem Neshama, the essence of the soul. He is Mugderet, limited, defined, Begeder, in a limit, in a definition.
Limited in a
Defined.
Limited in a limit or in a definition. Right.
Defined way.
What?
Defined way.
In a defined way, if you want to call it. In other words, what? If you, the essence of your soul has its place, in other words, it has its definition, its boundary, its limits of the essence of the soul, then it doesn't affect your revealed powers. Because it's like two things. There's the essence of your soul and your revealed powers. Right? That's like in the days of Stalin or whatever, your revealed powers, your personality gets knocked out, and all you have is the essence of your soul. Right? In other words, it's one or the other. If you want to reveal the essence of your soul, then you have to stop everything and just reveal the essence of your soul and forget about who you are. Or you can just leave Judaism and forget it, and be a normal person like everybody else. Right? There was a lot of people, they shaved off their beards and they took off their kippahs, and in their home they put on tefillin sometimes, and they sent their kids to the communist schools. And what happened with that? The kids, the children, what did they see? They saw that my father wasn't religious. Maybe put on tefillin once in a while. They used to say that one corner of the house on Shabbos would be Shabbos. There would be a little corner, that would be, grandpa would sit over there. But the young people, they wouldn't have anything to do with Judaism. Right? But the Chabad, the Hasidim, that they were totally Mesiras Nefesh, that they had total self-sacrifice, as they looked and they saw their father was Jewish all the time. Right? They saw that their father was Jewish, but they realized that being a Jew was a thing that was worth risking your life for. Right? But that was when, in Russia there were two things. There was your self-sacrifice, and there was your natural personality. It was two separate things. Therefore, when they got out of Russia, there was no reason to have self-sacrifice. They went with their natural personality. It wasn't affected by any self-sacrifice. They're natural. Why? Because self-sacrifice, when the essence of your soul is defined, is at a limit, so then it doesn't affect your revealed powers. Hageder Shalah. And what is the definition, Shalah, of it, of the essence of the soul? Lamaila, above, Mitzior, from the revealed Kochos powers. What is the essence of the soul that's revealed in the time of Stalin and these places? What? That's the essence of your soul. It's not you. It's not your personality. That's something above you. You're willing to throw yourself away. There is no self. But, says the Rebbe, there's a higher level. What's the higher level? Mitzad, from. Etzem neshama. The soul, essence of the soul. Kamo shehi, as it is. Not the two levels we talked about, the mazleu chazi or masiras nefesh. The essence of the soul as it is, mushreshet, rooted, b'ha'atzmut, in the essence.
Wait, what was mushreshet?
Mushreshet, rooted or found.
Found.
Right? B'ha'atzmut, in the essence of God. In this level, hapshitus neshama, the simplicity of the soul. Simplicity means the undefined oneness of the soul. Pshitos means something that's simple, it has no definition. The simplicity of the soul. V'hatzior, and the revelation, the hakochos shela, of its powers, hein, they are kul echad, completely one.
Completely echad, wrong.
Completely one.
One, yeah.
What's the Rebbe saying here? When the true essence of the soul is revealed, then it also affects your personality. So your personality becomes, you become a Mesiras Nefesh Jew. Everything you do is not thinking about yourself, only thinking about the goal. It's like something like a soldier, ideally. What's a soldier supposed to do? A soldier, when he has his uniform on, he's supposed to be a different person than when he's a regular person. Like a soldier, when he puts his uniform on, he's a soldier. Anything he does is a soldier. The way he eats, the way he sleeps, the way he does, everything is supposed to be a soldier. That's what it's supposed to be. Right? Ideally. You want to go and do sins, you want to do bad things, take off your uniform. Take off your uniform. But when you're a soldier, being a soldier is supposed to affect everything you do, how you talk, how you walk, how you, right? How you sleep, how you think, how you... Ideally, that's the way it's supposed to be. Right? A lot of these other armies, what they do is they say, a soldier, you're on leave, you do what you want. Right? You're on leave, the soldier, then they do what they want to. But ideally, it's not supposed to be that way. A person as a soldier is always supposed to be representing Russia or Israel or whatever, every country that he's in, every time he's represented. So, and then there's the way he eats, the way he works in his business, everything he does. This person is supposed to be also the same thing with a Jew. A Jew, everything you're doing is supposed to be recognizable that you're a Jew. And what is a Jew? It's not just a race, it's not just a religion, it's not just a creed. What is a Jew? A Jew is a person that's totally devoted to what Hashem wants. And what does Hashem want? That this world should be a good place. That here there should be only good in the world. That people should feel the Creator, they should feel why they're being created, they should feel how close the Creator is, how good the Creator is, how the Creator has faith in everybody, how the Creator will help everybody, how the Creator loves everybody. That's our job as Jews. That should be in our mind all the time. That should crush us, so to speak, to do more. Like you have a tube of toothpaste, you want to get toothpaste on, it's almost empty. I gotta brush my teeth. You gotta get something out of it. The same thing, you're in the world, right? The world has to be brushed, has to be helped. I got a little bit, I'll get out of myself. Do something. Crushed. Huh?
This will bring Mashiach.
This will bring Mashiach. Al Pizeh, according to this, Yesh Lomar, we can say, the Bechinat at the level, Hameor of the source, the illuminator, the Neshama of the soul, Shemid Kali, that is revealed, Al Yedei, by means of Mesirut Nefesh, self-sacrifice. He is Etzem and Neshama, the essence of the soul, Kamo, as Shehi, it is Mugderet, how it is Mugderet, defined Be'inyan Hapshitos, the simplicity,
In the simple meaning.
right? Mesiras Nefesh reveals the soul as it is, totally simple, Lamaila, above Tzira Kochos, totally above your personality. That's the soul. That's the level of your soul revealed by Mesiras Nefesh. Is that the highest level of the soul?
No.
No. The highest level is Bechin at the level. Hameor of the essence. You okay? Neshama of the soul. Shemitkali, that's revealed. Al Yedei, by means of. Ha'inyan, the topic. The katit of being crushed because we're in Gullahs. Mizeh, from this. Shenimtze'in, that we are found. Begalus, in exile, which that's the highest level of the soul, crushing yourself because we're in exile. Who is Gilui, the revelation, Etzem and Neshama. You with me, everybody? Or anybody? Of the essence of the soul. Kamo, as. Okay, Dov? Yes? Kamo, as. Shehi, it is. Mushreshet, rooted. Beha'atzmut, in the essence of God.
It's rooted.
In the essence of
What's
God.
what's the word exactly? Shores.
Mushreshet?
Yeah.
From the word shoresh. Shoresh is a root.
Ah.
Be'atzmut. So what are we saying? 3 levels of revealing the essence of the soul. I said it before, I'll say it again. Moses reveals a lower level of the essence of the soul. That's called your mazel sees. That doesn't affect your soul so totally. Haman and Stalin and the other evil people, when there's terrible times on the Jews, that crushes the Jewish soul and reveals the level which is called Mesirut Nefesh, self-sacrifice, where a Jew is willing to sacrifice himself totally. And the highest level is now, when there is no enemy, and we're not leaving Egypt, and you can't see any problems, but the only big problem is Gullus, the exile. You can choose
yourself.
To crush yourself if you want to. It says that is the deepest type, and that affects your whole entire personality all the time, and that is rooted in the essence of godliness. How will we reveal that? We'll learn, God willing, tomorrow.